Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. CBS News reports that Democratic Sen. Mark Warner of Virginia indicated he would take a look at any funding request from the White House for the ongoing war with Iran, but strongly criticized President Trump for not seeking congressional and public approval before initiating military action. Lawmakers are returning from a 2-week recess, with the anticipated supplemental funding request expected to be a major point of contention. Initial estimates for the first week of the war alone reached $11.3 billion. The White House is reportedly preparing to request $80 billion to $100 billion, a reduction from the Pentagon's initial $200 billion projection. Democrats continue to oppose the president's handling of the conflict, and some Republicans are questioning their support if the war extends beyond the 60-day mark without congressional authorization. Warner, vice chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, specifically noted that the administration's stated goals for the war, regime change, uranium, missiles, and control of the Strait of Hormuz, were only articulated 10 days into the conflict, and, in his assessment, have not yet been achieved. This request comes amidst existing substantial defense spending, including $1.5 trillion proposed for fiscal year 2027. According to NBC News, consumer prices in March jumped by 0.9%, pushing the annual inflation rate to 3.3%, its highest in 2 years. This surge was primarily driven by a 21.2% increase in gasoline prices, the largest one-month spike since 1967, directly linked to the ongoing war with Iran. Despite a recent ceasefire, gas prices remain high, prompting businesses like Amazon and airlines to implement fuel surcharges. Households are feeling the pinch, with inflation-adjusted pay falling 0.6% in March, leading to a record low in consumer outlook. However, beyond energy, core inflation, excluding food and energy, rose a modest 0.2%, with some prices like eggs, sports tickets, and used cars declining. White House spokesman Kush Desai attributed stable prices in other sectors to President Trump's policies and Operation Epic Fury. Analysts believe the overall softening in core inflation might allow the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates later this year, though the Iran war's future remains a significant economic wildcard. Al Jazeera reports that Peru has opened polls for its presidential and legislative elections, aiming to choose the country's 9th leader in less than a decade. The election takes place amid prolonged political instability, marked by numerous impeachments and corruption scandals that have deeply disillusioned voters. With a crowded field of 35 presidential candidates, including diverse figures like a comedian, a media baron, and a political dynasty heiress, no single candidate is expected to secure the 50% needed for an outright win, making a June 7 runoff highly probable. Citizens voiced their profound disappointment, with one fruit seller stating, "Peru is a mess and there's no candidate worth voting for." Leading candidates include conservative Keiko Fujimori, controversial due to her late father, Alberto Fujimori's legacy, promising to restore order, and former Lima mayor, Ricardo Belmont. JG Press reports that a send-off party was held at the Japanese embassy in Beijing on Saturday for 24 Chinese participants in the Japanese government's Foreign Youth Invitation Program. These individuals, selected through open recruitment, will be dispatched to local governments across Japan to serve as international exchange officers and in other roles. Amidst strained Japan-China relations, Yo Sonoda, a minister at the embassy, expressed hope that the youths would help build a stable bilateral relationship, looking towards a future improvement in ties. Lee Swafon, one of the participants assigned to Sapporo, Hokkaido, conveyed his determination to contribute to Japan-China exchanges. The article notes that relations between the two countries have been difficult since Chinese President Xi Jinping's administration reacted strongly to Japanese Prime Minister Tsunai Takaichi's remarks last November regarding a potential Taiwan contingency, leading to a suspension of dialogue and exchanges. This program represents an effort to maintain and foster connections despite the political climate. Al Jazeera reports that severe flooding has swept through parts of Saudi Arabia, prompting authorities to order schools to close. Heavy rainfall is identified as the cause of the widespread flooding, which has particularly impacted roads around the capital city of Riyadh and areas within the Al Asaih Governorate. The measures are a precautionary step to ensure public safety amid the challenging weather conditions across the country. This video news piece highlights the immediate consequences of the extreme weather event. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.